want to learn how to change the rear brake pads on your 2007 Chevy Impala, stay tuned for this video because I'm going to show you how to safely do that. My name is Rick Burrows. You're watching Fix It Rick, so let's fix it. Before we raise the car up, we need to loosen these lug nuts just a quarter of a turn. That way when the car is raised up, it will be safer when you go to remove the tire. Using a floor jack, find the frame of the car and then lift it off the ground. Next, use some leveling blocks or a jack stand to put it under the frame, just in case anything happens. If you need these or a jack stand, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Keeping your body away from the tire, you want to remove all the lug nuts. Putting your hands on the side of the tire to remove the tire. So this is your caliper and this is where your brake pads are. We need to remove this top bolt, and then there's a bolt underneath in order to slip this off, get access to the brake pads, change them out, put it back on. We're going to use a 15 millimeter. You may have a different size. Let's go ahead and loosen the top one. Now if you kind of run out of room like I did, I only have a long 15 millimeter, you can use a shorter ratchet like this one. You want to leave the top one a little loose so that when you take the bottom bolt out, this caliper won't just fall right off. Looking at the bottom of your caliper, you'll find that the other bolt is right here. And then we'll use the smaller ratchet to remove the bottom bolt. And that's one of them. Let's put one hand on the caliper and the other hand to remove the other bolt. Now this whole assembly can slide right off, just like that. So O'Reilly's recommended these brake pads. They're called Brake Best Select Premiums. These break down less than the cheaper ones, but the price for these are not too bad. You can go to O'Reilly's, or I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can buy them. So looking at your caliper, you have the two brake pads. Push one in, slide it out. All you're really doing is popping the brake pads out of place. So you see this round shaped piston. When you apply your brakes, it squeezes the two brake pads together, slowing your car down. Sometimes this can be pushed out. You may need to use a crowbar to force that piston back in. You don't want to put a crazy amount of pressure on it. You just want to push the piston back. See how it's pushed all the way back? You'll notice these two metal clips right here. As long as they're not damaged, you don't need to replace them. Simply push on them and they slide out, then they conform to the shape of your caliper. You may need to use your crowbar to get them back in place. Now let's go ahead and put our brake pads in. We're going to put the side without the squeaker against the piston. We get our second one. Okay, looking at your brake pads, you'll notice this gap right here. That's for the rotor, and it squeezes it so that it brings your wheel to a complete stop. Pretty cool. Now we can go ahead and slip it back on. We'll put our top bolt in, and we just want to get it started so that we'll have a little bit of wiggle room for the bottom one. We'll wiggle it around until we can get that bolt in, and then we'll go ahead and tighten both of them up. Now we'll do the top. Holding the tire with one hand, go ahead and put the lug nuts. Let's pull the leveling block out of the way. Now that nothing else is supporting the car other than the floor jack, we can now safely lower the car. Alright, the only thing left to do is to tighten all of these lug nuts. You want to do it in a star shape. Alright guys, you just learned how to safely change your own brake pads in the rear of your Chevy Impala. You're getting better and better at fixing things, and I'm so proud of every single one of you. Do me a favor, hit the like button on this video, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And always remember that Jesus Christ loves you, and only He can solve your biggest problem.